Many times I see you guys trying to speak, you hesitate, you stop yourself. And then, like, through the cameras, I often see small, like, body language movements, and you kind of like move around like this, or you squint your eyes, or you oftentimes it's your shoulders that I see. And that's the moment where I normally call out your names. And you know that it's because I've seen you do a movement and you have something to say, but you don't want to say it. And you do that, nothing, Carmen, nothing. I didn't want to say anything. But you have this inside voice, right, that was telling you the answer to whatever reaction you had. Okay? Mind chatter, right? We call it mind chatter in psychology. And it never actually stops. It's always going on in your daily life and inside of your head, okay? And the problem is that we don't completely control that mind chatter. And unfortunately, most of the time, it's negative, okay? Often we identify really strongly, we connect with what we think and everything that our inner voice says to us, okay? We hear this little whisper in the back of our mind saying, you're not good enough, that's not right, you're a failure, right? All of those things that go on in the back of your head. And we take those statements as true. We believe those things that are inside of our heads as true, and we don't question those thoughts, okay? Maybe during your childhood, you've heard like your parents or teachers or different authority figures tell you that maybe you're not good at English, okay? And now your mind just spits that back at you years later because it's so ingrained in how you think, right? But it's not necessarily you, okay? It's just how perhaps you were brought up with, or maybe your environment, or your school teacher's opinion, or a particular situation that you experienced in your past, okay? In psychology, there's this thing called cognitive diffusion, okay? And that's the process of learning how to accept your thoughts, but also detach from them, separating ourselves, okay? And it's more easy if I describe it as like clouds passing in the sky or water running down a river, okay? Because those metaphors show us that our thoughts are constantly changing, okay? We should think of them as temporary experiences and that they're not who we are. They're not attached to our personality, okay? And a really great tool to distance from yourself, separate yourself from your negative inner thoughts is to give that voice a name, okay? So give your inner voice a name. Okay? A simple hack to manage your negative thinking, okay, your belief that you can't do this, or it's too difficult, is to create a unique name for your negative inner voice to help you separate yourself from that negative thought, okay? So when you give that inner voice a name, you automatically detach yourself from it and you create a separate identity for it, okay? It can be a simple name like Bruno, okay? And then when you find yourself thinking, I can't do that, I'm not good at that, just shout back at your head, shut up, Bruno, or not today, Bruno, or silencio, Bruno, right? Okay. It might seem like a silly thing to do, but it's actually a really, really effective technique to manage those negative thoughts in your head, okay? Because we have competing voices inside our heads telling us what the best thing to do is, okay? And all of us experience this angel and devil, right, on our shoulders phenomenon, okay? And it's easier to think of it as a funny TV show rather than a deep and tragic personal conflict that's going on in our heads, okay? So by doing this, putting silence to Bruno, we teach ourselves that we can experience a thought and without needing to take that thought very personally, okay? You don't have to agree with every fear that goes into your mind, okay? And by doing this is going to help distance yourself from the thoughts, but it also serves as a a valuable exercise that can actually help you find new solutions and break away from your fears, okay? Because ignoring that little voice that tells you that you're wrong or your idea is bad or the way you speak is wrong, when you give that a name to this criticizing voice, it loses its power because you're saying that you are not the problem, that you don't need to be fixed, and that the real problem is basically you believe everything that this critical person is telling you. And this is the reason that you always second guess yourself. When you come to an exam, you say, oh, I knew it. I should have done this, or I should have answered this. I wish I had done this. Okay, a lot of times that happens. Okay, so what I want to do is share with you a quick video. As you know, I love Disney, and Disney demonstrates this psychology movement really, really well. And this is a scene that's called Silencio Bruno. Okay, so I don't know whether you guys have seen this, but here it goes.
We gotta ride together. If you don't sit on the back and hold on to the front, the whole thing falls apart.
Oh, and who's holding the ramp?
The turtle! Come on, it's faster than he looks.
Okay, here we go.
You, coming?
Nope, I can't do it. Never in a million years.
Hey. I know your problem. You got a Bruno in your head.
A Bruno.
Yeah, I get one too sometimes. Alberto, you can't. Alberto, you're gonna die. Alberto, don't put that in your mouth. Luca, it's simple. Don't listen to stupid Bruno.
Why is his name Bruno?
I don't care. It doesn't matter. Call him whatever you want. Shut him up. Say, Silencio Bruno.
Silencio Bruno.
Loud. Silencio Bruno.
Silencio Bruno.
Silencio Bruno.
Silencio Bruno.
Can you still hear him?
Nope, just you.
Good. Now hang on. Andiamo!
Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed that little clip. Yeah, so it was a really good demonstration of this psychology effect where you can do so much more with your life and improve your speaking and change the way by simply changing the way you talk to yourself. Okay, so let's move on